Hello everybody and welcome back to Alma. So we're just on our way to the store because I want to go and lease some rolls because we'll need them for the soybean field. We don't need them for the corn field, which is very handy, so we don't need to go for anything big or severe. So we may just go for, I think are they the Pottinger or the Vardestad, the base game ones, the base game 12 metre ones, which if we have a look here and go Vardestad. So I'll go with these ones again, same configuration as before, because I don't think adding those other bits onto it makes any difference to your yield or your field. Oh, we've overshot a little bit there. You'll also see that since the ploughing's now done, we're now back into our John Deere, because we've spent a lot of time in the case recently, so it's nice to have a bit of a change. Ooh, I'm dropping everything here. Hold on. Alright, there we go. I have on my right hand thrustmaster, I have a lot of keybinds set up to there, and to press Q to attach things, that's on the thrustmaster. But to begin with, when you start, the first time you put an implement onto a vehicle, it only uses one place, so it keeps dropping everything off. So anyways, now we shouldn't have that problem again. So I'm going to go to the soybean field, I'm going to get that rolled, and then we're going to move on to our alfalfa, where we'll get that windrowed and get that baled in this episode. And whilst we're doing that, our worker is over in what was the cornfield and is going to be another cornfield. He's just in there with the disc harrow pressing that for us. And then I don't think we'll get to that this episode, because I'd like to drill and roll that all in. Oh, well, we won't need to roll it, but I'd like to drill that in one episode and then move on from there. And we're almost there and having this field rolled. So I am just going to return the rollers from the menu. I'm not going to go back to the store. It seems a bit counterintuitive to drive all the way back there when we can just drop them, when we can just take them off here. So if we just pull off, let's get rid of our wheel marks like so. And if we go into the garage menu, that's fantastic by Oz, is that? And then press X, we can go into here. Let's return the rolls. And then we can now take this back, and I believe that we don't need to do anything to this field now, because we've drilled it with there was fertiliser there which we didn't need. It's been ploughed, so there should be no weeds, and then it's rolled, everything. So I think that's this field done, but we will obviously just keep an eye on it just to be sure. But right, let's get back to the yard. I want to go and find our old John Deere, and which I think that's still in the field. That will have the tedder on it still. So we'll bring that back. We'll take the tedder off, we'll put the windrow on, and then we can go windrow our alfalfa hay. So this will want to go onto the baler. So where is... Right, it's down there by the windrow. Ooh, trees are in the way. So let's just reverse this down. We can put this onto here. And then, like you say, when we just tab through and find... Leave a bit of space so we can get the other tractor down. So let's put that on. And where is... Here we go. So we'll go now, we'll bob up to the top, drop this off, and get the windrow. So let's put that there. And then if we just pull ourselves forward to go back. I do love these sheds, but they're so small, you know, height wise. Like you go like that, then you've got everything in your view. But anyways, right, let's get back onto here and put this on. I imagine we'll want two headlands when we're doing this. Let's now get this out and we'll take this down to the alfalfa field. We're going to have to probably join these hay bales onto one of those lines, which is annoying. I'd rather them all be in one, so you're using so you're sort of role playing that you're not leaving any old hay, let's say. So let's unfold this now. Oh, there's a pallet or two that wants to be moved over here. Let's get just running into everything. So let's get this on. We'll keep this spawn trigger free because it's only small as this, so we don't want to be leaving anything in here so that then it won't spawn, otherwise we'll be losing out on material. So let's pick that one up. You can stack these churns on top of each other, but it is rather awkward. So let's put that one down there. If we line up for these two but don't take them, because then we can stack them on top of those two together there when the time comes. Right, through into here like so, and yeah, we'll get ourselves on there, get this windrowed, and then we can look to bale it. And that is our alfalfa hay windrowed. So you would have seen near the end of that time lapse that I have just had a look in the sale, and there's a sprayer in there which is everything that we want, and especially because it's got the for the fertiliser, the pulse, is it the pulse modulation? So if we look at it, the only thing we need to do is we need to swap these to narrow tyres. The pulse width modulation, so that's for your fertiliser to get an accurate thing. We don't need the see and spray because everything's been ploughed, so there should be no weeds this year. And it's 36 metres, all for 59,000. So I think we're going to have to purchase this. I'm hoping for, if we go 23,000 and did this over 2 years, it should be a manageable, expenditure for us to do. But I think it's ridiculous to not take, to take that up, especially because we have over there a liquid fertiliser tank and liquid fert. But right, our worker here as well says he's finished. But if we have a look on our map and go to this one, you'll see a lot of it is seedbed, but then a lot of it isn't. So we may just have to have a little whiz round just to finish that off. But apart from that, I think he hasn't done sort of too bad. But right, we'll go get this packed up into the the workshop's over there. But we'll go park this up in the shed now, and then we can look at bringing out the John Deere with the baler on. I'm glad I left the doors open because we left the John Deere running, so the carbon monoxide in here would be ridiculous in the amount of time it's taken for us to windrow that field. But right, let's put this down to here. We'll make sure to turn this one off now, and we can jump into the big boy. And we just need to make sure we go to the F1 menu. Yeah, so we're making 180 centimetre bales. Because if we were to do any smaller, it would be a complete waste of time. Because we only need to do 150s for the silage for it to be able to wrap. And let's get on to this now. We've got to just remember that the next time that we do any alfalfa work, we have to do silage to keep up with that demand. I've only done hay this time because our hay, hay's I think is one of the most important because that's going to the sheep, goats and cows. Whilst it's only the cows getting silage, fair dues we can make more money from the cow silage, from the silage that the cows are eating. But I'd rather make sure I have enough food because I'm going to guess that it's the animals that are going to keep our finances healthy, or at least I hope so, considering we've now just spent a load of money on a sprayer. So I'll be interested to know how many bales we've done here, because 2 on these auto stacker, you can get 28. So that means there'll be 56 in 2 loads. And the first time, I think the worker baled it for us, and we got 1 and a bit load. So it'll be interesting to see whether we've got more, especially considering we'd have limed the field and fertilised. So once we've finished this tiny little bit, we'll go have a look. I've also been watching our net wrap just go down and down and down, so I'm very glad that we've managed to do that without running out. This part bale, I am just going to go drop it off at the sheep. There's no point putting that into our full bale stack, because all I'll end up doing is, well, knowing me, it will go to the, I'll move it and it will go to the cows anyways. And what is that cow doing out there? You're in the wrong place, missus. Which I hope in time that they do eventually do. Yes, the cows look different between cows and bulls and whatnot. Right, let's empty that into there. And before I forget, we'll have to go and get some net wrap. Which will be... Where's the baler category? Here, consumables... square round baler net. So we want this. What's all this? No. Oh, we'll just go standard. Let's buy that. So we'll have to bring that back as and when we can. I've definitely got the right thing, haven't I? Yeah. Yes, definitely got the right thing. But right, let's go put the baler away. And then we might as well, considering we're here, I'll go and load up, go get the auto stacker on, and we can look to get these bales all lifted up. Because it'll be interesting to see actually how many we have got off the field. Right, and this wants to go, like I said, it's just hard to see in these sheds. I think it's where you would have to be first person a lot of the time. Like so. So let's drop that off. We'll go get the auto stacker, and then, like I say, we'll start loading these bales up and bringing them back here. I did say I was going to sort out this grass, which I haven't got around to that, but I'll probably look at doing that off camera. Now where is? There we go. Let's put this on. I would like to, there's a cold storage shed as well, so I'd like to buy something like that to put in here. The only problem is we've got goat's milk over here, and then we've got chicken eggs over there, so it's not like where we would want stuff to be. You know, it's a lot of travelling in the forklift, you know, to be moving them, to put them under cover, but it's more sort of for the role play aspect, to make sure that the stuff that should be chilled is chilled. Although eggs, you wouldn't want... I know I certainly wouldn't want to buy eggs that are a year old, even though they've been chilled or not. We chase the thrill, with it every desire, with it to fulfill. Caught in a frenzy, we dance in this way. In the pursuit of more, we'll find our way. With every chase, in this endless space, in this game we'll play, forever in the greedy way. Rush. In the whispers of temptation, we hush. And there we have it. So that field is now all clear and done. So I'll just put this back over here where we got it, where I think I've already mentioned before we need to try and look at some more shed space sooner rather than later. So we'll put this back here, and then in the next episode we can go and get our new sprayer, because then the alfalfa field will need spraying to get some nitrogen back into there. And then we will have, if we just flick through to here, we will have this field to do as well. Which what I may do is I may just bob round and just get these little bits of ploughing that we've missed just off camera. But Anyways, I would like to just say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.